Pretty keen guy. He's not like, he's never kind of beaten by the car. Sorry, Toronto was a bit of a freak. Yeah, well, I mean, he put a yellow pair ahead, and I think whatever the cam was, and a polycarb on it, extractors, but I used to drag V8 Ford with it, and leave them in the dust. Something to do with how you drive. No, I mean, the people were trying to drive faster than me. Yeah. I've got marinated chicken fillets. Oh, chicken loins in honey and soy. What about glazed tomato? And that's the rest cooked. It's cooked. And, oh man, too much chicken and fruit everywhere. All of a sudden, you can't eat it. All of a sudden, I was told I can't eat all this stuff. Oh, it's been worth it though. I'm improving so fast. My fingers. There we go. These cutters are awesome. I'll leave a link down below. I think I just got them. Fantastic. So that's that. Alright, that out. Okay, not being quick at all about that. I still don't agree with this regular pliers right now. Get out of here. Alright. Really cool. Australia started with a 40% increase in the local departments and surgeries with people on medicinal marijuana and some cases. Wrap this up and we'll take it for like an E-throttle test drive just to make sure there's no leaks, you know. I don't know what they put it in it either. What they putting in it for? Okay. Nice white one. Is that a help tonight? Yeah. Oh my gosh! This is the best burnout machine ever! I guess in the later years they added the lights, but like, I don't know why they wanted to phone does one type of video. Oh, okay. Whatever you want. Alright, hang on. You know I gotta try out this launch mode. So we click that button to launch, press brake, click apply. Oh, okay, I can do that, but hang on. Race options. Yeah, we can do this. We can change the RPM. 1500. What? Let's go a little bit higher. Let's go like 2500. Oh, this is cool. To launch, steering wheel must be straight. Okay. Alright, brake. Full throttle. You just keep on spinning the wheel. Definitely has a lot of traction control kicking in. And it's just real stuff. So, yeah, these tires aren't in the best shape. That's to be expected. I think I can definitely launch it quicker though myself in this situation. I just slow this up right now. This bird's you had this 700 He loves it. That's right. That no one can possibly get. You can drive though, obviously. It is. It's a rear-wheel drive with a big motor on the front. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. I don't really understand them. Front-wheel drive, yeah. Usually you have a motor and a gearbox, and then you have a tip in the gearbox and shafts going both ways. Yeah. So they're all in line with the front wheels. Yeah, and in driving, the difference it makes. Just crazy. Good send off. You can't do burnouts, or you can't. You can do burnouts, but they're just silly because you don't have any sense of you can't steer properly when they're spinning. This is a track mode. This is like my first time in track mode. You can't steer. No. I don't know why. So the front tires are pulling you along
control.
Yes.
Guiding.
So you really want traction control and diff lock, I mean like a non-slip diff.
Yeah.
So it keeps both tires spinning at the same, like the Saab that I had, Saab 900,
Yeah.
that was really good. So you lose traction in both front tires if you're on a slippery road. And get high revs.
Okay. So what kind of cars are front-wheel drive? Like my car.
My one's front wheel drive.
And my other one is.
Yeah, it's on Ford.
So what kind of cars are rear-wheel drive? Commodores.
Commodores, all the Datsuns, you know, like 69s and all the bigger ones. Basically, you go inside and it's got the tunnel in the middle going back on the floor.
Yeah, that's the Datsun stands. Oh no, okay. What, oh no, so what's the difference with my car? My car and your rear-wheel drive? What would be the difference in the middle?
Because the prop shaft has to go from the gearbox to the
Oh,
disc.
so the back floor would have a hump
Yeah.
on it too.
Yeah.
Ah!
I mean, there might still be, because they might have a hump for the exhaust and all the cabling and the brake lines and all that kind of
But
stuff.
there are cars, I know the difference. There's cars that are 100% flat.
Yeah. So that would be front wheel drive.
Okay. Interesting, because I've never really understood it, and I only just found out like a couple of months ago mine was front wheel drive. Just because I read it on the specs.
So you can do a really good job of having a front wheel drive be a really good road car, but it would help if you put the right size tyres and you use sticky tyres so that you don't break traction very easily.
Yeah.
I don't know whether your one would have limited slip diff in the thing. You'd have to find that out from the specs.
And what does limited slip diff do?
It keeps both the front, both the wheels on the same axle pretty much. If one starts to slip, it'll grab the other one as well, and they'll keep both turn at the same speed.
Yeah. Is that good?
That's good. Because otherwise you can have, like you go around a corner, you put a lot of throttle, you can have one wheel just basically spinning, and the other one not keeping up to it, so it's sort of you lose traction on that one wheel.
Oh, okay.
So you want traction, like just like I was saying about the Saab, that had the limited slip diff, and yeah, it was really, really good to drive. I wouldn't mind, but Saab company doesn't exist anymore. So like I had a mechanic, I knew what was wrong with my car, but he would not sell me the part unless I got him to put it in. You know, so he had a kind of like a monopoly on the parts, and he had the parts there sitting on the shelf, but he wouldn't. All I needed was a belt tensioner,
Yeah.
and eventually it seized up and it stuffed up that car.
Yeah.
The belt disintegrated and got jammed in between there.
Oh, that went out by itself, but it's actually good how it burnt.
Yeah,
Because with these now, I've learnt get a tea light candle
yeah,
once they burn out and stick it on top and it melts. And then, or I pop the tea light candle out and I'll stick it like, say, I'd stick it in that hole.
yeah,
This stuff ends up burning with that wick.
yeah.
But you can buy the wicks at Bunnings, I just haven't. Yeah, marvellous idea.
It's not bad. It didn't burn very long though. I mean,
Hours.
fine, yeah.
Hours.
But it's a good idea not to
So
warm
4, 8, 12, 16. It'll burn for about 20 hours.
Yeah.
Easy, I should get the cover and see what it was meant to burn for. Then time the next one. But you should go to bed. This is like time, 2 hours before you get up.
Lovely, it's a long weekend.
Yes. Yeah. It's okay.
It was just 11:15.
What?
It was just 11:15.
Yeah, a few hours ago.
9:25.
Uh,